Hey y'all. Welcome to This Kingdom Things podcast weekly review. My name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips. I am a channel for the divine. I am also the biblically prophesied Messiah. Full circle moment, alert, alert. So are you. Why, Ashley? What I have in me, you have in you. You have in you, I have in me. We are in the second coming of Christ, or the biblically prophesied perfect human, the age of unconditional love, where we are all awakening to our existential truths. We are all awakening to our infinite potentials in the dream. We are awakening in the dream as human beings of planet Earth. I actually received a prophecy, the 2030 Kingdom Things Podcast 2033 prophecy. By the year 2033, we, humanity of planet Earth, will be in a consciousness evolutionary status to understand that we are a human culture of planet Earth with no disease, no death, no war, no famine, world peace, as disease, death, war, famine, no poverty, as well as poverty. We're all manifestations of our human nature when we were in a less aware state or a less conscious state. We are experiencing the mass spiritual awakening. I'm sure you're experiencing things, dimensions about yourself that you haven't experienced before. So you're finding my podcast. So you're in alignment. You understand that you're infinite truth. So you're in alignment and you understand that you're more than what you believed yourself to be before, or that you're more than what you were in your last moment. By 2033, we will be in a stream of consciousness evolution as a collective in mass to understand that we are a human culture of planet Earth with no disease, no death, no war, no famine, world peace, no poverty. Because what? Disease, death, war, famine, poverty. We're all manifestations of our manifestations of a consciousness that was less evolved. Now we have been awakened, more evolved civilizations in the history of our humanity, histories that are outside of the scope or paradigms of being able to measure or prove with scientific findings, or prove with scientific findings. And that's not even true either, because there's plenty of scientific findings that we found on our planet within our history that deviate from our understandings, our logic of who we are, what reality is, how long we've been a civilization on the planet. Within Kingdom Things Podcast, I channel energies and messages from my soul, my Akashic record of the oneness of all things, in order to assist us in this time of rapid spiritual awakening or consciousness evolution. Our spiritual awakening is synonymous with our consciousness evolution, which is also synonymous with our genome activation. So we're experiencing a mass spiritual awakening on the planet, which is synonymous with our consciousness awakening, which is synonymous with our genome activation. I'm actually going to do a transmission later on today. I'm going to film a transmission later on today. I'm awakened to my multidimensional nature. So I had a telepathic conversation with a type 10 civilization. Y'all, it was so cool. I'm gonna do the transmission later, because it's gonna be some prophecy in there and all the things. It's gonna be a pajamas and prophecy, so I'm gonna do it later tonight. It'll probably be posted within the next few days. It's November 11th, so within the next few days it'll be posted. I had a telepathic conversation with a type 10 civilization, and it was so beautiful and so cool. The way they were feeding me wisdoms. I welcomed the interaction because they were feeding me wisdom to heal myself, to become more aligned with who my soul told me I was, who God told me I was, who God tells me I am, infinite, just like you. I started Kingdom Things Podcast intuitively guided in order to become everything that our creator God, or my soul, our creator God, my soul, your soul, have 0 degrees of separation in all actuality. I intuitively started Kingdom Things Podcast as an intuitive directive to come into alignment with my limitless potentials, or who I am on a soul level, beyond the human constructs of my personality, or the human constructs of perception. So I'm having a telepathic conversation. It's more than telepathic; it's multidimensional, because it's really cool. Because I have visions, clairvoyance, and then I claircognizant, where I just know things. They just feed me downloads where I just know things, and then we have dialogue, telepathic dialogue. It's really beautiful, really cool. So yesterday I had a communication, an extrasensory experience with a type 10 civilization beyond our paradigms of reality. But they're like, excuse me, y'all, the dog was barking. Let me readjust, recenter. I was having a extrasensory perspective communication with a type 10 civilization. It was super cool. You know, we have the 2033 prophecy, Kingdom Things Podcast 2033 prophecy. How are we going to amass or evolve into a human race, human culture, planet Earth, a species of planet Earth with no disease, no death, no war, no famine, world peace, no poverty, our mass spiritual awakening, our consciousness expansion, our genome activation. They want me to get into it now. I really want to save it for later, but let's go ahead and get into it now. That's fine. No, we'll get into it now. The mass spiritual, we're going to save it for later because I really want to, because it's going to be so much. And I really want to ground and center and be prepared. So we're going to get into it later. But it's the type 10 civilization. So, and they guided me. I had no conscious awareness of the, what is it? Kardashev. Let me, excuse me. I don't want to get his name wrong. Let me Google it really quickly. I had no clue. I had no conscious awareness of the, what is it? Kardashev scale. The Kardashev scale is a method of measuring a civilization's level of technological advancement based on the amount of energy it's capable of harnessing. I had no clue about the Kardashev scale. We're gonna get into it though in the Kingdom Things podcast, Pajamas and Prophecies. It's real big because God said, Ashley, I'm activating you into your limitless potential. Why? Expanding your consciousness beyond what the human perceived possible. Why, Ashley? Because y'all are all awakening en masse. So you're grounding, you've grounded yourself in this physical reality with your expanded consciousness, with your realized God, goddess nature, in order to awaken all of humanity, all of the human being of planet Earth to its infinite potentials. The Kardashev scale is a method of measuring a civilization's level of technological advancement based on the amount of energy it is capable of harnessing. God said the human being of planet Earth was created, came into creation. I'm going to link the human being's dharmic purpose. I did the Kingdom Things podcast, We Are Not the Game series, with the episode on the human being's dharmic purpose. Excuse me. God stated the human being was created to be infinite potentials in the physical, or as the Holy Bible, Christian Bible prophesied, a mirror of God, right? God said, you human beings of planet Earth, humanity, you were created to be the extremes of light and dark in order to live your realities and love on yourselves and go inward to balance your internal nature, to come into equilibrium in your internal nature in order to, a good old baby, my soul said it's ready for it. It's time for a meditation session, baby. Give me it. Okay, but I'm not ashamed to pull up, baby. What is it? I don't care what time it is. I'm not ashamed. Go ahead and call it meditation time. Lay down and go into a deep intrinsic transcendental meditation. I'm ready for it. Which gives let's just finish this thought. God said the human being of planet Earth came into creation. Whenever God or existence or infinite creation needs something, it naturally produces it. The human being of planet Earth came into creation in order to act as an uplifting and regenerative force in all of creation, infinite creation, where we embody the extremes of dark and light. We embody the extremes of left and right. We embody the extremes of yin and yang. We would call it good and bad. That's what we called it in the past. But it's elevating because we've graduated. It's aligning. Whenever you think of something as bad or evil, it's aligning you're redirecting your mindset to understand that every thought that you have, everything that you experience is a part of evolution. Yeah, the things that are bad and evil, we don't want to perpetuate it. But if we want to transcend it and evolve it into something else, we have to take accountability for it in the way that we forgive ourselves in order to take that energy and that thought pattern and graduate and evolve it into something else. Whenever we learn our lesson in God's creation or existence or in our lives and our reality, whenever we can perceive a thought and be like, hey, I don't want to think that. Hey, I don't want to associate that thought pattern with with my beingness. We're given the tools. We drop into our heart space. That is the tool. You drop into your heart space, and you come into heightened wisdom, heightened awareness, understanding of what that thought pattern or that energy has in it itself to teach you, to teach us. Whenever we perceive something in our reality that we do or don't like, we're able to drop into our heart space to learn, garner soul wisdom, God wisdom, infinite wisdom of what that event, thing, person manifested in our reality to teach us about ourselves. So Kingdom Things Podcast, Pajamas and Prophecies. If you're watching this Kingdom Things Podcast weekly review on Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, just click below to go ahead and go over to Kingdom Things Podcast on YouTube or Spotify to watch the Kingdom Things Podcast, Pajamas and Prophecy. It's going to be something about the expectations we can honor about open contact. The expectations we can honor about open contact. It will be the title of that, Pajamas and Prophecies. It's available on YouTube or Spotify. Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips on YouTube or Spotify. So, God's like, you human beings of planet Earth, you're created to be the extremes of dark and light, up and down, yin and yang. In order to what? In order to come into greater levels of balance. And once we balance our energy out, we come, whenever we find equilibrium within ourselves, we know it as a 0 point or infinite potentials. We were created to be infinite potentials in infinite potentials in the physical, in our realities. The Kardashian scale is a method of measuring the civilization's level of technological advancement based on the amount of energy it is capable of harnessing, as below, so above. If we're infinite potentials, our reality is going to reflect this. The fact that we know that we're infinite potentials, that we're in alignment with the fact that we're infinite potentials. Our reality is going to reflect this. Kingdom Things Podcast, Pajamas and Prophecies. The expectations we can honor in regards to open contact. That'll be coming in the next few days. It's November 11th. If you're watching this on November 11th, it'll be there in the next few days. Click the notification bell on YouTube, Kingdom Things Podcast on YouTube to get the notification whenever I post new Kingdom Things Podcast transmissions. As if you're on Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, make sure you hit the bell on both channels, like, subscribe to get notified whenever I publish new transmissions. If you're watching on Spotify, hit follow so that you can stay up to date whenever I publish new transmissions within the Kingdom Things Podcast community. So today, I channeled a lot of good energies, a lot of good messages. This is the Kingdom Things Podcast weekly review. I would say all the time when I was in school, I used to love, when I was in grade school, I used to love when my teachers would go on tangents. Baby, that was a very deliberate tangent, right? I hope you enjoyed it. So I enjoyed it. A lot of really good information in there. A lot of good information in there. Let's go ahead and get into the let's go ahead and get into the Kingdom Things Podcast weekly review clip. This clip is from the Kingdom Things Podcast installments, Divine Balance. Let's go ahead and get into it. And Divine Balance is linked below in the description of this transmission. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. To divine alignment with self, to where you are able to perceive the limiting energetic creations that determine your mental precepts that filter your mental precepts and create your life. Being in divine alignment to the point where you're able to see your limitations that you have created and choosing to create anew, choosing to build and create new energetic patterns, mental patterns. Who are you? Why are you? I am divinity. I am infinite creation. Having a human experience in order to elevate and expand my divinity, my infinite self, as well as to assist in the elevation of the human race and Mother Gaia. This journey of the human experience, much like every journey of our infinite souls, is a journey of creation. So as we grow and expand, we are creating. As we grow and expand, we are creating towards the infinite whole of creation. At the same time, we are expanding our infinite selves, our infinite potentials, as we expand the infinite whole of creation through our own experiences, our own soul's journey. It is August 27th, 2022. What is time? What is time? Today is going to be a day of expanding into my sacred mind. Today is going to be a day of expanding into my sacred mind. Last night I was briefed that this would be the case. The way I was briefed is I got a mental vision of like a tornado and like the roof coming off the tornado. And I was like, so I'm not comprehending. I'm not sure what this means. And then T.I. song played in my mind. I like my beat down low and my top laid back. I was like, oh, my mind, like my ego's been fighting. My ego's been fighting. Like my ego was fighting to hold on because the energy of my sacred mind is expanding and depleting my ego mind. Replacing my ego mind. My sacred mind is replacing my ego mind. And so yeah, today will be a day of expanding my sacred mind. And I just have to be a void. Be a void, be a void, be a void. Yeah, so so that is the weekly clip. It comes from Divine Balance. I'm getting intuitive directive on where to take the conversation. So I was having the extrasensory perceptive communication with the type 10 level civilization. And Ashley, how do you know that they were a type 10 level civilization? Because they guided me to go search on YouTube the type 1, type 2, type 3, the Kardashev scale civilization model. And they were like, we don't want you to have such a strict perception of what the different civilization types entail. They're like, Kardashev, he was gifted the intuitive, being God to just say he channeled, because every thought that we have is a channeling. The Kardashev scale, he channeled this information in order for humanity to have some type of reference point to understand our possibilities, to understand that we came into existence to grow and evolve, to understand that we have potentials that we are destined to meet, to understand that creation is not random or spontaneous, but a benevolent creation that works for our evolution and advancement. Creation is a benevolent mechanism, sentient, infinite beingness that works towards and for our benevolent, harmonious, well-balanced advancement. So the type 10 civilization stated, Ashley, we don't want you to be so strict in your perception of what each civilization entails, each level, type 1, type 2, type 3 type 4, type 5, type 10 entails, just understand that you have the potential to grow and evolve in humanity. You are growing and evolving exponentially, and you are slated to become a type 2 civilization within the next millennia, next 1,000 years. And so since we are a human culture, planet Earth, with no death, no disease, no famine, no war, no poverty, world peace, we are gifted the soul level choice to experience evolution or growing and advancing and evolving within this benevolent creation, which we most readily term as God, in our one incarnation vessel. As death again was a manifestation, a part of the manuscript, when we didn't remember who we were. It was a benevolent happening to prepare us for being a type 1, type 2, type 3, a heightened conscious evolutionary status, culture, beingness, collective in God's creation, or the oneness of all things, or the all. So I'm having this discussion with a type 10 level civilization, and they're like, well, I'm having a discussion and I'm just perceiving things. We were created to be the extremes of dark and light. So as we're being activated, everything isn't always pleasant. Everything isn't always kosher. Give me a second, y'all. Everything isn't always pleasant. Everything isn't always kosher. But what everything is right on time, divinely timed, divinely aligned for our exponential growth and evolution, for our advancement. So we have thoughts and we perceive energies that trigger us into. I'm a big one that I've been experiencing for really all of my life, but the last couple of days that I've been able to shine light on it, or the collective and other beings and energies of the oneness of all things, or God, are helping me to perceive where I have. That's Hazel down under the bed scratching on the carpet. Don't mind her. I've been able to perceive. I've been able to perceive where I have spite perpetuating in my spirit and my soul and my beingness. The human being the experience of dark and light, and experiencing a lot of evolution where we had anger, jealousy, envy, rage, resentment permeating our very beingness. As we're gonna get in, I'm not gonna get in that far into it. We'll wait for the pajamas and prophecies, what we can honor when it comes to open contact. We had energies permeating our beingness, which accumulates to spite, or self-hate, self-doubt, self-destruction. So this collective helps shine a light with our communication, because I'm like, whoa, I enjoy communicating with y'all. I'm learning a lot. I know I'm probably not the most pleasant, because I'm a human of planet Earth. I'm incarnated. We are humans of planet Earth, and we knew. So to them, our energies might not feel the most pleasant. To them, they might be able to, I know they can tell, like, ooh, y'all working through some stuff. Ooh, y'all working through family matters. I know they can tell, ooh, y'all working through family matters over there at planet Earth. Y'all working through family matters. But nonetheless, they were helpful, and they gave wisdoms that are I could perceive things inside of myself to grow and evolve, such as a spite. I perceive when I have this communications with this type 10 civilization, I enjoy it. Right? Because I don't feel bogged down. It's a high vibrational, expansive experience. And then we have communications and relations in our humanism with other humans on the planet. And I could perceive the contrast. Where communications with myself or other human beings is more of an exasperating experience in the way that I'm shown myself. I can perceive the denser energies. So it's dropping into our heart spaces, meditating and praying to learn from those energies, to grow and evolve those energies into something else. and to an advanced civilization, a heightened consciousness, activated genome, divine being, infinite potential being of the oneness of all things, all or infinite creation, or God's creation. God. They were like, you know, this is what they spotlighted. They were like, everything that y'all did as human beings in y'all's evolution, y'all, the roots of the tree of your actions, your deeds were pecuniary interests, monies. So you neglected the self or your emotionality or your spirit in order to chase and achieve notable accolades, in order to align with pecuniary interests and self-advancement. So that is why you, dear human beings of planet Earth, are so spiteful, so envious, so jealous, so rageful, so aggressive, because you ignored your own human nature, your own spirit, the human spirit, in order to build in your physical reality. You know, we now understand. We now all understand, as below, so above, the universal law of correspondence. What we hold inside manifests in our reality. So instead of running out into the physical world trying to build stuff, like Bob the Builder, shout out to Bob the Builder. Instead of running out to the world trying to build stuff, we go inside, meditate, and pray, align our internal environment, our energy, and allow for us to cast our most benevolent, cast meaning project our most benevolent, well, uplifting, satiating, uplifting for all, satiating for all, benevolent, God aligned, soul aligned, universally aligned, encodement, soul energy, authentic frequency, reality. Following our intuitive inclinations, our intuitive nudges to bring our most benevolent, highest timeline on a God level, soul level, universally aligned level, upliftment for all level, creation, dream, into the tangible. I want to thank y'all so much for joining me on this Kingdom Things Podcast weekly review. Again, like the video, follow on Spotify if you're watching on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube if you're watching on Oneness Connection or Kingdom Things Podcast with myself, Ashley-Nicole Phillips. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I publish new transmissions. I'm going to try to post these weekly reviews every week. I'm going to try to post them every week. So as far as the day of the week, I'm not sure. I'll be in different dimensions, healing and stuff. So, you know, I just follow my soul guidance, and I end up on different paths. And I say I'm going to post on Sunday, but it's Monday, and I'm barely posting. So I'm not sure when I'm going to post a weekly review or when I'm going to post anything. Just hit the notification bell. Follow Kingdom Things Podcast on Spotify, on Twitch, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, to join the Kingdom Things Podcast community, the Kingdom Things Podcast journey to a healed and balanced human culture of planet Earth. I love y'all. Love on yourself. Self-love is the best love, because you have to love yourself in the way in which you want your reality to love you back. Self-love is the best love because you are loving your truest truths. Give that love to yourself first. Self-love is the best love because it helps you evolve the way we interact and relate with everyone in our reality, because everyone is a mirror of who we are. All is within. Last but not least, I am a singer-songwriter. My music, Ashley-Nicole Music, is available to stream on YouTube. I channel my chakra, my soul energy into the music to help heal and uplift the planet, uplift this realm, uplift all of God's creation. I hope there's music that you really gravitate to, can heal and grow with in your own authentic journey. You know, hope it aligns you with more of your most benevolent, well-balanced, authentic frequency. I also am a home cook. I do enjoy cooking. Magic Meals with Ashley-Nicole Phillips is available to stream on YouTube for free. That is linked below. I'm also an author. I authored the Unconditional Love Literature Parcel. I'm not going to give you all the synopsis. We're just going to roll into the trailer after this transmission. My soul was like, Ashley, you don't remember who you are. Sit down. We're going to write these books through you to help you remember. You're going to share it with humanity to help humanity remember, to help y'all on our journey of remembering a heightened consciousness civilization. What else? Demo sessions, which you can book below in the Kingdom Things Podcast Healing Home Square portal, where I type up, channel energies and messages in which your soul or the oneness of all things wants you to experience in order to help you knock through some of the karmic knots or the stagnant energies within yourself, so you can perceive your intuitive guidance, so you can perceive your soul's intentions to align more to your highest time, to align with your highest timeline, to align more with your highest timeline of potentials within your authentic frequency, your authentic beingness. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
My name is Asya, and I'm a teenage witch. Just kidding. I am a starseed. My story is much like humanity's story. I awakened to some pretty spectacular things about myself. Coming home, the story of Asya, followed by the story of Asya, I'm home. The book series that introduces the book. After returning from a day's trip, I have read my Atom's letter. He speaks of my father releasing him from imprisonment and the fate of death. He pleads for us to run away together. This plea is one of which I make no state to decline. My other half, available in the Amazon bookstore. I feel as though I was born here on Earth to find you. I was created to find my person. The Unconditional Love Literature Parcel, now available in the Amazon bookstore.